The Taos Hum, New Mexico, USA. The Whispering Desert. The wind moves silently over the high desert of New Mexico. Shadows stretch over the red rocks as the sun disappears beyond the horizon. And yet, beneath the vast silence, a sound begins. A faint, low hum. It is subtle, almost imperceptible at first, like the memory of a vibration from some hidden world, one that refuses to be named. In the town of Taos, the hum is no longer a rumor. Some residents hear it constantly. Others hear nothing at all, leaving them to doubt the stories whispered over kitchen tables, in small cafes, and across quiet streets. Those who hear it describe it as a sound that penetrates the bones, resonating deep in the chest, a vibration that neither music nor machine can mimic. This is a story of a hum that cannot be explained, a sound that defies science, yet haunts the human mind. Here, under the darkening sky, we begin our journey into the mystery of the Taos Hum. For decades, people have wondered, is it real? Is it imagined? Or is it something else entirely? Something older than the rocks, older than the desert wind itself? Some say the hum began quietly in the early 1990s, though whispers hint that it existed long before anyone could record it. The local legend tells of nights when the hum rose over the mesa, a constant reminder that some part of the world remains unseen, unknowable, and yet profoundly present. Residents describe its arrival as subtle. The first few nights, they question their own hearing. Perhaps it is a truck, a distant generator, the hum of machinery buried beneath the earth. But as the days stretch into weeks, and weeks into months, the hum persists. It lives, it breathes, and it waits. The discovery of the hum. In the early 1990s, the whispers became louder. What had once been a subtle vibration in the night became impossible to ignore for some residents of Taos. The hum was not a fleeting sound. It was persistent, lingering in quiet moments, intruding upon the stillness of homes, streets, and open desert. Initial reports were met with skepticism. Scientists, journalists, and even local authorities questioned the validity of the claims. A low-frequency hum, they would ask. Perhaps it is industrial equipment, the wind, or some unusual form of tinnitus. But the reports multiplied, coming from multiple corners of the town, from people of all ages and walks of life. As the phenomenon gained attention, the first formal investigations began. University researchers and acoustic engineers arrived, equipped with sensitive instruments designed to detect sounds beyond normal human perception. Yet, in many cases, the instruments recorded nothing. The hums seemed to evade detection, existing just beyond the grasp of modern science. Newspapers ran stories. Mystery hum puzzles Taos residents, a sound no one can explain. Interviews with the townspeople revealed the breadth of the experience. Headaches, nausea, insomnia, and a constant, gnawing sense that something unseen was pressing against the edges of reality. Some described the hum as more than sound. It was a presence. It moved with them through rooms, appeared to follow them across the desert, yet vanished when the listeners stepped outside the boundaries of their perception. Scientists coined terms, attempted measurements, and proposed theories, yet the hum remained unconquered, elusive, untouchable. Among the theories proposed at the time were mechanical explanations. Perhaps it was distant traffic, underground machinery, or the hum of electrical lines. Yet investigations revealed no consistent source. Machines could not account for the variability. They could not explain why some people heard it constantly, while others heard nothing at all. In parallel, the town itself began to take on an aura of mystery. Visitors would arrive, curious about the hum, eager to record and study it. Some left with questions unresolved, their minds unsettled. Locals spoke in quiet tones about nights when the hum seemed almost alive, rising and falling like some hidden organism in the desert. Human experiences. The people of Taos began to speak of the hum not as a rumor, but as a companion, unwanted, uninvited, yet undeniable. Mary, a retired schoolteacher, described her first encounter. "I woke one night, the desert silent, and then a low vibration. It filled the room. I could feel it under my feet, through my chest. I thought I was imagining it, but it was real." The experiences were varied. Some heard it as a distant drone, a sound almost too faint to grasp. Others felt it as a pulsing thrum, vibrating through walls and floors. Children complained of headaches. The elderly spoke of restless nights. For those who could hear it, it became impossible to ignore. At first, some sought rational explanations. Perhaps it was the traffic on Highway 64 or nearby industrial machinery. Yet the hum persisted in places where no machines existed. It followed them indoors, through quiet homes, along empty streets, and across the mesas under the starry sky. There were nights when the hum seemed to speak. Some described it as rising and falling with a rhythm, almost like breathing. At times, it was louder at night, a ghostly pulse beneath the silence. Sleep became difficult. Some would lie awake, counting the vibrations, listening for patterns, imagining hidden sources beneath the earth. Small communities formed around the shared experience. Support groups for hearers emerged. They shared descriptions, the hum as a constant companion, a presence, a sound that isolated them from those who could not perceive it. "It is like living inside a whisper," one resident said. "It is always there, even when nothing else exists." Attempts to escape were futile. Those who left house sometimes reported that the hum followed them in dreams, a persistent memory of vibration that clung to their consciousness. Others adapted, learning to live with it, finding strange comfort in its constancy, despite its mysterious origin. And always the desert remained. Nights stretched long and silent, punctuated only by the invisible hum. The stars above shimmered coldly, unchanging, and below, the earth seemed alive with some hidden resonance, a vibration that touched only those attuned to its frequency. To live with the hum was to live with uncertainty. It was a sound that questioned reality, that blurred the lines between perception and imagination, between the natural and the supernatural. Every hearer became both observer and participant in an enigma that refused resolution. Scientific investigations. As the reports of the hum spread, scientists and researchers began to descend upon Taos. Acoustic engineers, geologists, and psychologists arrived with equipment, notebooks, and cameras, determined to uncover the source of the elusive sound. Their arrival brought hope, but also tension. For every instrument set up and every measurement taken, the hum seemed to respond in ways they could not anticipate. Early investigations focused on mechanical explanations. Perhaps it was traffic, industrial machinery, or electrical lines buried deep beneath the desert floor. Yet no consistent source emerged. Machines hummed and roared, but they did not replicate the resonance described by the hearers. The hum was something else entirely. Researchers deployed seismographs, acoustic sensors, and vibration monitors, yet the hum proved maddeningly elusive. Some instruments picked up faint low-frequency vibrations, but never with the consistency reported by residents. Others detected nothing at all. The hum existed somewhere between reality and perception, teasing the boundaries of science. The phenomenon puzzled experts. Was it a low-frequency sound wave, known as infrasound, too subtle for standard detection? Or perhaps it was geological, microtremors emanating from faults beneath the Earth. Researchers measured frequencies, amplitudes, and decibel levels, and yet the hum defied definitive characterization. Studies continued through the 1990s and 2000s, each adding new details but no solutions. Scientists interviewed hundreds of residents, cataloging personal experiences, trying to correlate the reports with environmental factors: wind, temperature, humidity, or nearby machinery. Patterns emerged, but inconsistencies remained. Some people heard the hum constantly, others nothing. The sound seemed selective, intimate, personal. In the scientific community, the Taos Hum became a case study in mystery. Papers were published, conferences held, but the answers remained out of reach. Some researchers began to question the very nature of the hum. Could it exist only in perception? Was it a psychosomatic phenomenon amplified by awareness and attention? Or was it something external, a hidden frequency of the natural world that humans were only beginning to notice? The hum resisted classification. It was neither fully mechanical nor entirely psychological. It existed at the edge of comprehension, forcing science to confront its limitations. And through it all, the desert remained silent, yet alive with a vibration that could be heard by some, felt by others, and known only as an enigmatic presence in the night. Alternative explanations. As scientific efforts faltered, alternative explanations began to flourish. In Taos, whispers of conspiracy and the supernatural grew louder than the hum itself. Some claimed the military was conducting secret experiments, hidden deep within the New Mexican desert. Others speculated about UFO activity, extraterrestrial signals vibrating just beyond human perception. The desert became a stage for mystery. Ancient Puebloan legends spoke of spirits that moved silently among the mesas. Could the hum be the echo of something far older than science, something born from the land itself? Some locals felt it was a message, a warning, a presence that defied human understanding. Paranormal theorists drew connections to other unexplained hums worldwide. The Bristol Hum in England, the Windsor Hum in Canada, the Kokomo Hum in Indiana, each shared eerie similarities. Persistent low-frequency sounds heard by only a fraction of the population, resistant to scientific measurement. Could these hums be linked, part of a global network of vibrations that humans are only beginning to perceive? Conspiracies abounded. Was it a clandestine military project, a secret installation emitting inaudible frequencies? Or perhaps an experiment in mind control, a sound designed to influence emotions and consciousness? While such ideas seemed improbable, they captivated the imagination of those desperate for answers. Other explanations leaned toward the paranormal. Could the desert itself be alive, resonating with energies beyond comprehension? Some residents spoke of nights when the hum seemed to rise in intensity, almost conscious, pulsing with a rhythm that mirrored the heartbeat of the earth. The hum became more than a sound. It became a presence, a living mystery that could neither be ignored nor understood. And yet, For all these speculations, the truth remained elusive. Each theory offered a glimpse, a possibility, but no certainty. The hum was an enigma, a shadow that moved through the town of Taos, through the mesas and valleys, and into the minds of those who listened. Its origin remained unknown, its purpose unclear, its existence unquestioned by those who had heard it. As night fell over the desert, the hum continued. It rose and fell with the wind, invisible yet persistent, a constant reminder that some mysteries are not meant to be solved. Perhaps it is a message from the earth itself. Perhaps it is a sound we are not yet ready to understand. Or perhaps it simply is a phenomenon that exists beyond explanation, waiting patiently in the silence. Psychological and social effects. Living with the hum was a test of patience, perception, and sanity. For some residents, it was a subtle irritation. For others, it was an all-consuming presence. Insomnia became common, as nights stretched endlessly with the low-frequency vibration pressing into the bones. Headaches, dizziness, and a sense of unease were reported across generations. Psychologists who studied the town noted patterns among the hearers. Anxiety, stress, and hyper-awareness were common. The hum altered perception, twisting ordinary sounds into echoes of the mysterious drone that haunted the desert. Those who could not hear it often dismissed the concerns, which only deepened the isolation felt by those affected. Communities began to divide, not violently but subtly. Believers and skeptics, hearers and non-hearers, formed invisible lines that shaped social interactions. Families argued over whether the hum was real. Friends drifted apart when one could hear what the other could not. Some chose to leave Taos entirely, seeking escape, while others remained, learning to coexist with an ever-present mystery. Support groups formed for those affected. In small rooms, dimly lit, residents shared their experiences, how the hum could feel like a heartbeat, a pulse beneath the earth, or a whisper that echoed inside the mind. They spoke of the long nights when the hum intensified, the dreams it invaded, the moments when it seemed almost alive, observing them. Children were particularly vulnerable. Some described the hum as frightening, an invisible monster of the night. Others adapted with uncanny resilience, learning to accept it as part of the desert's character, part of their world. Despite the hardships, a strange bond developed among the hearers. The shared experience created a silent understanding, a community linked not by words, but by vibration. They knew the hum, respected its persistence, and sometimes, in quiet moments, found solace in its constancy. The hum was not merely sound. It became a presence that shaped daily life. It influenced the rhythms of sleep, work, and conversation. It forced the community to confront uncertainty, to live with a mystery that had no resolution. And yet, for all its discomfort, the hum was also a reminder of something larger, an unseen, unmeasured part of the world, waiting patiently beneath the desert night. Endless theories and unanswered questions. Despite decades of investigation, the hum remained without explanation. Every theory, every study, every observation added new details, but no answers. The mystery endured, as persistent and intangible as the desert wind. Residents and researchers alike began to ask questions with no expectation of response. Is the hum inside the earth or inside our minds? Is it a natural phenomenon, a mechanical error, or something beyond human comprehension? Each answer seemed to lead to more questions, expanding the circle of uncertainty. In Taos, nights stretched long and silent, yet not truly silent. The hum persisted, rising and falling in subtle waves. Some residents reported noticing patterns, rhythms that suggested intelligence, intention, or design. Others dismissed these observations as the mind's attempt to impose order on chaos. Across the world, similar hums appeared. Bristol, Windsor, Kokomo, mysterious vibrations heard by only some people, leaving communities puzzled, scientists baffled. Could these hums share a hidden connection? A global resonance threading unseen through the planet, waiting for perception to catch up? For some, the hum became almost philosophical. It was a reminder of human limitation, of the vast unknown, of the thin veil separating perception from reality. Those attuned to it felt simultaneously connected and isolated, a witness to something profound that could never be fully known. And yet, life continued. The sun rose over the desert, birds called in the morning light, and humans went about their routines. But beneath this ordinary existence, the hum lingered, invisible and persistent. It was a mystery embedded in the rhythm of the earth, a vibration that might last centuries without explanation. Perhaps the hum is nothing. Perhaps it is everything. Perhaps it is a voice from a world that exists parallel to ours, or the echo of forces ancient and unseen. It defies classification, refuses resolution, and challenges every assumption we hold about perception, reality, and sound itself. In the quiet, when the desert sleeps and humans are still, the hum remains. It waits, it watches, it resonates. Is the unknown made audible, a sound without source, a mystery without end? And perhaps, in listening, we become part of its story, silent witnesses to a phenomenon that will remain unsolved for now and for always. The hum today. Decades have passed since the first whispers of the hum reached the ears of Taos residents. Technology has advanced. Studies have multiplied, yet the hum remains. Its source is unknown, its pattern unpredictable, its presence undeniable. Today, those who live in Taos carry the hum with them. Some have learned to adapt, weaving it into the rhythm of daily life. Others continue to struggle, burdened by sleepless nights, headaches, and the persistent vibration that refuses to leave. Visitors arrive, hoping to witness the phenomenon, to record the sound, to find answers. Some leave disillusioned. Others feel a strange sense of awe, as if they have glimpsed something ancient, vast, and beyond human understanding. The hum, invisible yet persistent, becomes a symbol of the limits of perception and the enduring power of mystery. Scientists continue to study it, recording data, analyzing frequencies, testing hypotheses. Yet for every answer proposed, the hum adapts, evades, and remains elusive. Some suggest it is the earth itself speaking, a natural vibration too subtle for human understanding. Others suggest a paranormal or extraterrestrial origin. Perhaps it is both or neither. The desert remains unchanged, timeless in its silence, punctuated only by the faint, haunting drone. Residents have come to accept that some questions have no answers. The hum is not a problem to be solved, but a presence to be acknowledged, a reminder that some mysteries are beyond human comprehension. And so it continues. Night after night, the hum resonates across the mesas, valleys, and streets of Taos. It whispers of secrets buried deep in the earth, of forces unseen, of boundaries between perception and reality. It is a companion, a ghost, a vibration that endures. Perhaps the hum will never cease. Perhaps it will follow humanity for centuries, a low, invisible voice in the background of existence. For those who hear it, it is a constant reminder that the world holds enigmas we may never understand. As the night stretches on and the desert sleeps beneath the cold stars, the hum persists. And in listening, we become part of its story, silent witnesses to a mystery that will remain unsolved, persistent, and haunting forever.